Hey, good morning to you. It's Daybreak at iFiber One News Radio. I'm Jeff Slakey. Hope you're having a good start to your day and slowly looking ahead to the upcoming holidays. Holidays are a great time, a lot of times for friends and family to gather around and celebrate the joy of these seasons. There are many folks in Mason County, though, who are struggling at this time of the year and throughout the year. There is a group in the community that does a lot of good out there in the community. It's Love Inc., Love in the Name of Christ. And this morning here on the air with me, I have the new executive director, Linda Myers. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeff.
Thanks for coming on the air with me.
Thank you.
Love Inc. is a great organization. We've talked about it for, about 8 years now. And as we were kind of talking off the air, you are one of the first ones that saw this working in other areas and came to Mason County and says, this is something that I really think we all can get behind. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Having worked in a local church office a number of years ago, I realized that churches have a lot of folks that stop by, people that are in need. And experiencing the frustration of not being able to help those folks in a satisfying manner. I was attending a congregation in Thurston County and saw some information lying on a table there with regard to this organization or ministry called Love Inc. And I didn't pay any attention to it for a while, and then I picked it up one day and then realized that there were some folks in the congregation that were a part of the Lewis County Love in the Name of Christ. So I questioned them and brought the information back to Shelton. I was the messenger. I brought it back to some friends and some folks that I knew would really appreciate this model. And they picked it up and ran with it. I served on the development committee until my husband got ill. But it's a team of folks that have really put together this ministry, a lot of folks working together.
You know, you brought up a good point there that folks will pop in and drop into churches often, and that's kind of a known thing, that the church doors are always open.
Right.
A lot of times, and what's great about the Love Inc. model is that a lot of times, and we hear about it in the community with other organizations, is that this group here is doing a lot of good work, but I'm going to also do basically that same work. There's a lot of duplication of efforts.
Yes.
And the way Love Inc. does it is a wonderful way. You partner up with churches and organizations, secular, non-secular.
Right.
Talk to me about the clearinghouse and how that works.
Sure. The clearinghouse is an office in downtown Shelton. There are staff members and volunteers, and it's like the nerve center of the ministry. So we see people come in the door and call the clearinghouse. They have a need or needs, and we do some paperwork on them and for them. That's called the intake process. And those are our volunteers primarily that come in and do that. And we assess what their needs are, and then we send out the feelers or the information to the different churches and ministries that can help and serve those needs. So yeah, we're the nerve center. The churches and the other organizations and resources are the hands and feet that help those folks.
And it's not based on where the person asking for help is located, but it's based on their needs, like clothing,
correct,
or wood,
right,
or anything like
right.
that. So
that's
there's
right.
It's a wide variety of availabilities for folks.
Right. We have currently 15 gap ministries, and those gap ministries, gap meaning fill in the gap. It's not something that's going to help someone survive or live for years, but it will help them to get to the next place in their life many times. And so those gap ministries are filled by many different congregations in our community. There's 27 churches at this point that are part of the network. And so we're thrilled to work together with all these folks.
What are some of the ways volunteers can help, and how can someone become a volunteer?
Okay, first of all, how a person can become a volunteer is to, in fact, I'm meeting with someone today at 10 a.m. that wants to be, Mark, I'm hoping you want to be a volunteer. Anyway, he is going to come in at 10, and he did the process. He came in, he said, I want to help. And so we gave him a volunteer application and some other information to read to acquaint him with how things might work, how your heart might be tugged in this ministry, to be ready for that. And so then we'll sit down and talk today, and we'll talk about the different areas that we have need for volunteers in. Anything from working in the clearinghouse. We have the clearinghouse open to clients 3 days a week. So there's volunteers in the office 3 days a week helping with clients, but there's many other ways to serve. We have periodic fundraisers and other events where folks could serve in that capacity if they would like to do that. We have, of course, the Gap ministries out in the different churches, and possibly this gentleman and his congregation would like to develop a Gap ministry. There's plenty of need of different kinds of things that could help in the community.
So there still is available room for other churches or other groups to join
Oh,
in.
absolutely.
You're not
Oh no! Oh no!
welcome. Please
If
come.
all the congregations in Mason County wanted to take part, that would be delightful. So, and may I tell you about what that kind of looks like?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay, so one of the places that I love to go that is a Love Inc. Ministry is what we call the Annex. It's a nondescript building in downtown Shelton, but in that building, the First Baptist Church, the Seventh-day Adventist folks, and the new Union Community Church all work together side by side, serving needs. The First Baptist folks run what's called Heavenly Households, and there's a wonderful room in that building that has bed sheets and towels and warm coats, and that's part of the homeless supply closet, and other lovely things that can help someone set up a household that may not have the belongings that they need. Next to that is called the necessities room, and that is where the Seventh-day Adventist folks have bags and bags and bags of things that an EBT or card will not purchase for folks that may need to get through that month. And then the third one is the Union Community Church. That is a medical equipment loaning ministry. It's filled with wheelchairs and walkers and all kinds of things. And so we may get a phone call. One day I was in the office alone, and on a Friday, a gentleman called and he said, I'm at Mason General. I'm being discharged in half an hour. My doctor tells me I can't go home until I have, and I believe it was a wheelchair. Yes. I can't remember what piece of equipment. He had to have something to go home. And so I was able to meet him and his wife over there in a half an hour's time on his way through town and loan him the equipment that he needed so he could go home. Usually it's a gentleman from the Union Community Church that's there, but this was an off hour. So, but anyway.
Oh my gosh, that's a great story.
Yeah.
When it comes to the participation and how it works, how have you heard how Mason County and the giving and organizations work well together compared to other counties? And everybody kind of puts their own titles behind them and knows that this is for the greater good. Exactly.
Well, in comparison to other counties, I don't know how that works in our state or in our Pacific Northwest area. However, I'm a part of a FaceTime class with the national organization where other executive directors, new ones, are being instructed twice a month, and they are discussing their experiences. And I have to say, that what we experience here is beautiful, and I don't want to say unique because I don't know how everything goes, but those folks are not experiencing the level of commitment and working together that this community experiences in helping those folks that are in need. These folks from the class describe a lot of struggles that they have.
Wow.
And so I'm just delighted that I was able to step into a group of people that are working so well together.
Big hearts here in the county.
Very much so.
One of the other things that we keyed in on as we've been talking over the years with Love Inc. and folks in and out of the real station here is the kind of the mantra that it's not a handout or but a hand up, that kind
Right.
of that kind of a phrase.
Right. And actually it's both. We don't want to be unrealistic here.
Sure.
However, in giving in giving a handout, we know there's immediate needs, and so a handout is necessary.
Yeah.
But we also want to get to know the folks that come into our doors or come on our phone, and we really like it when they come in the door because we get to see a face.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, then the churches also get to see a face as well. So, however, what we are working on once again, a couple of years ago, there was a program that we did called, I wasn't there, but Jobs for Life, which was organized and facilitated by a number of folks in the community, and clients were identified that would be good candidates to take part in this program. And it consisted of classes, character building, and job readiness classes, and that was very successful for some of the folks that took part in it, and we're looking at doing that again. We have a couple of women volunteers that are really zeroing in on developing this program again and actually keeping it ongoing. So we're looking forward to doing that in the new year.
You can find more information at loveincofmasoncounty.org. We'll put the links to that in the show notes here when we post the video. What's coming up for 2018? Still the golf balls from heaven?
Oh, yes.
And all
Oh,
that
yes.
stuff?
The golf tournament. That's all new to me, but
Yeah.
I'm a good learner. So, as I said, the transformational ministry that I was talking about, and something else that folks in the community might enjoy in an opportunity to give, and that's just simply called the $10 a month club. And we have folks that may not be able to take part in a golf tournament,
Sure.
but we have folks that want to give back, and so we are going to launch the $10 a month club. And you think about it, if 100 people gave $10 a month,
That's a big deal.
yeah, exactly. In fact, our two daughters were the first ones to say, "Mom, sign me up. I want to do that." So we will have a link on our website. Our website's being updated right now, and so the giving will be able to happen through the website. And so we just encourage people to look for that. And of course, you can give more than $10 a month
Sure.
if you want.
And that's just a couple coffees. I mean,
Exactly,
really, when you think
exactly.
about
That's
it,
the way to look at it. And other things that are coming up in 2018, well, we certainly want to see more congregations come on board if they would like to do that.
Yeah.
It's really fun to go out and talk with congregations and worship with them on a Sunday and just share with them about what goes on with Love in the Name of Christ. We were at Oyster Fest for the first time this last fall, so we anticipate doing that again.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, Leanna, our office administrator, has a full calendar for us. So all of our calendar dates will be on the website as it gets updated.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
Good
cool.
things.
Well, very nice, and it's good to talk with you, meet you here. Linda Myers, new director at Love Inc. And again, you can find them online at Love Inc. of masoncounty.org. We'll also put those links into the show notes and link it up with social media as well. Well, happy holidays, Merry Christmas to you, and thanks for coming on and
Thank
talking
you,
with
Jeff.
me about this.
Thank you.